welcome to Dare to Outdo Yourself. I am your host, Prophetess Rhonda Phillips. As always, I am here to help challenge and empower you to take charge of your life through preparation, performance, and persistence. Now, I trust that you are in for a very insightful program on today, so wherever you are, just regroup and let's get ready to hear all that awaits you to receive on today. Now, as you can see, I am on location at a very wonderful place here, and I have a very special guest co-host with me on today. So I want to take this opportunity to introduce to you Apostle Ann Jackson. Apostle, it's so good to have you. I want to talk to yourself.
It's good to be here, Prophet Rhonda.
Yes, and we are right here at her church, Nehemiah Worship Center, here in Charlotte, North Carolina. And so I am so excited about today's program. I want to just take a moment. I know that we have just celebrated Christmas, so I trust that many of you were able to spend time with your loved ones and that you were just blessed tremendously. And we have now embarked upon the close of this year 2015, and we're getting ready to go into our new year. And so we're going to take this opportunity on today to just share with you some important information that we believe will help you to get ready to be prepared for this transition into 2016. And so I want to take this moment to just first share how I met Apostle Ann Jackson. It was a few years ago, actually, at a women's event, and we were introduced, and she just had such a lovely spirit about her. And so we were able to, of course, just recently get a chance to connect, and I'm looking forward to some exciting things that she has going on within her ministry and things that she's doing to help advance the kingdom. She's going to share those things with you. And Apostle Ann, you just have such an energetic spirit about yourself, but it's also a gentle spirit that you have as well, and I really admire that in you. And I'm just looking forward to getting to know you even more. But I'm really excited about today's program because you're going to be sharing some information and sharing some things about yourself. As you know, I know many times people have a tendency when someone is in a position of title, such as an apostle, many times individuals often are intimidated by the person because of the call upon their life and how they're just being utilized by God. And we want people to have an opportunity to know who you are as a person. Not just Apostle Ann Jackson, but who Ann is. And so we want to just take a moment to have our viewers to just learn a bit about you, in terms of how was it for you, where were you born, where did you grow up, and how was it like for you growing up?
I grew up in the state of South Carolina, Florence. My life was I had a happy life. I didn't have an awkward life. I had good parents. My parents were Christians. So my upbringing stemmed from my parents and things that I learned from my parents that helped me advance to where I am right now.
Okay, awesome. So let me ask you, in terms of growing up, was there any particular turning point in your life where you knew that you actually called into ministry?
Growing up, I didn't really know a whole lot about ministry, just attending church.
Okay.
But the turning point that was in my life that directed me to get closer to God was the loss of my dad. My dad was very close to me, my best friend, and to lose my dad and not having any place to go or any other resource to turn to, I started to turn to the church even closer. Even though I was there in the church, but the church wasn't really in me like it should have been. But the loss of my father drew me closer, and then the loss of my husband, not through death but through divorce, that got me a little closer, and eventually I knew in my heart that to go on in life I would have to do something different, and that's when God began to prompt my spirit about coming forth in ministry, and because I had never been there before, it was like something new and exciting. So.
Well, it's interesting that you're bringing up the loss of your husband through divorce. And I know for someone who's watching right now, this may be very helpful for them. Can you share with us, were you actually in ministry at the time that you experienced going through the divorce with your husband? And if so, how did that affect you or affect you in ministry during that time of that process?
Wow, it really affected me a lot because we always challenge ourselves, and we've been taught that we we should be married in ministry and to be in ministry and to have suffered such a great loss. It was very devastating, and so especially as a woman, because you have, I wouldn't say as much as men don't want to hear, but you have people, period, that kind of like don't want you going forth in ministry because you don't have a spouse with you. But I found that that was very inaccurate. It's been 42 years now in ministry, and I knew then by getting closer to God that I knew God was my resource, He was my power, He was my strength, my authority. And with Christ in my life, I knew that whether I had one at the time or not, that God was going to cover me. And He has sufficiently covered me in this hour. And I just want to just encourage other people, other women and men as well, that God is our keeper. And when we learn who our keeper, our purpose and our keeper is, I think that we can go a little further and begin to understand more about God.
Great. Now, with that being said, I want to, of course, let the viewers know that, as always, I come to you with an empowerment challenge. And so today's empowerment challenge is for you to move forward. That's right, move forward. And so we're going to elaborate on our challenge a little bit later in the program as we continue to have our discussion here with Apostle Ann Jackson here at Nehemiah Worship Center in Charlotte, North Carolina. She has some great things going on that she's doing to help impact and advance the kingdom. And I know that one of the things that we shared in terms of I know that you're very well respected and you're highly regarded in the kingdom as a whole. I know that you are an educator as well, and so I know that you have a lot of people who respect and regard you in your field in terms of what you do career-wise in that area as well. Can you just share with some of our viewers? I know that we had talked early on, and this is again something that's helpful for someone who's a leader. I know that many times when we may be on a path of learning and growing, and then when God promotes us, and people that we were once at a place of learning with or growing with, and now we're in a position of authority over them, how that may affect you or them. Can you just share a little bit of that in terms of experience that you had that we had discussed and talked about earlier? It may be helpful for someone who's watching, maybe going through that right now.
My early experience was I only had a high school education when I got called into ministry, and I wanted to reach more people, just in different areas. So I was prompt to go back to college, and I finished. And I want to reach the entire population, I had to experience different things in education. So I became an educator through becoming a social worker. From social working, that would give me an opportunity to reach the at-risk population. I received an undergraduate degree from North Carolina Central through Child Development and Family Relations, which allowed me to see the younger population and the older population. Then I went to college at Liberty University for my first master's in counseling, marriage and family counseling, where I was able to reach the mid part of the environment. So I was able to get this smallest child through the birth of that child and through the end of it, which is the inception of it. So I was able to reach the entire population, and my latter part was to be able to educate them. So my second master's was in education, and that helped me to be able to communicate with the population. So I started to teach, and I teach birth through kindergarten, and I teach Bible classes. So that helped me kind of reach the entire population, and I think it's really important to educate yourself, because we're dealing with different types of people that operate in different levels. And I think it's important to be able to reach every level of that person, because you got to be able to work with children. So I think it's important to go back and kind of educate yourself so that you will not miss no child or no adult or no person will be left behind.
Right. So one of the things I know that I've learned in getting to know Apostle Ann Jackson, that it's really key to educate yourself, to keep yourself educated, whatever it is that you're doing in your walk right now, because everyone has different walks in life, and so you may not have to go the same level of education that someone else is doing that's next to you, but whatever field you're in, to make sure you maintain educating yourself, to stay educated, because knowledge is powerful. No one can take that away from you once you get it here. Amen. So it's real important to stay educated about whatever it is that God has called you to do in your walk in time and season in your life. So I want to just transition now and talk about Nehemiah Worship Center. I know that you're doing some great things here, and so if you can just share with our viewers where you're located and what you have going on here in the ministry?
Okay, we're located, Nehemiah Worship Center is located near the downtown Charlotte area. Our address is 120 Wellingford Street, located off North Triangle Street. And we're a community-based church that welcomes the community from the smallest to the greatest. And we're doing a lot of great things here. We have programs that are already in place for hurting women, for alcohol and substance and drug abuse, because I am a SASE assessor as well, and an HIV/AIDS counselor. So it's a lot of things going on for our population, especially for the Hidden Valley community. We work the Hidden Valley community as well as we work other communities, and been very successful. And that's where we're headed right now, to try to reach more of the community as a community-based church.
That's awesome. So, and I know we were also talking to Sharon earlier, talking about different denominations and things of that nature. So how would you classify Nehemiah Worship Center? Or how, when people ask you, well, what church you go to, and what denomination are you? What is your response to that?
My response is always going to be the same. I love the Lord. I love Jesus. Nehemiah Worship Center is not just denomination. It's about growing and learning how to love God and learn how to accept God in your life. It's not about nothing denominational preferences or religious preferences. It's just about learning how to love God. And I feel like we can just learn how to love God, then I think a person can grow like that without worrying about whether it's a Baptist or Methodist or Presbyterian or Episcopalian, but just worry about whether or not their walk with God is going to be sufficient for them to sustain life. And, I'm not a denominational person. I just love the Lord. And I think when people see me and they see this energy, they will really know that she loves the Lord. And they won't really see religion on me. They won't really see whether I'm a denominational person. They just see that she loves the Lord.
You know, you talk about energy. I know, in this small amount of time that I've had to get to know you, you have so much energy, and it is. I think it's amazing because when I listen to you, you share how your day went or how your week went, and I'm listening to you. I'm like, oh my goodness, how does she have so much energy after going through all of what she's gone through? Can you just share with us? Because I know for me. I would love to glean from that. I really admire that in you. And when you have such a busy schedule, you got so much going on. At the end of the day, how do you manage to do it all and still, maintain heavy sanity? With such a busy schedule. So just, again, someone's watching and they may be going through so much right now. And they don't know how they're going to be able to, get up the next day. What can you do? What can you say to help encourage them right now?
Well, it takes a lot of prayer, and I am a very energetic person, very outgoing, and everybody's always amazed when I tell them how old I am. Mm-hmm. And when they get to know how old I am, that's what amazes a person, because they say, well, how do you get in? And how old are you? I said, I'm 61 years old.
Did you hear that? She said she's 61 years old.
I am 61 years old.
Beautiful.
And the energy I have, the level of God I have, it's just God. My prayer as a child was, God, sustain me and keep me healthy and keep me strong, and just loving God. I pray a lot. I watch what I eat. I don't go a whole lot of places, and my life is just centered around loving God and loving the people of God and loving children. So that in itself, working with a large population of small children, it keeps my level of energy up. Because when I wake up in the morning, I go to work, it's dark. When I come home, it's dark. So I have to maintain that level of energy for those young people, because young people lack it when we have a lot of energy, because they have a lot of energy. So it's my life's dream is just to continue to keep this energy until I can no longer function, and I don't see that happening anytime soon. I'm looking for 61 more years from somewhere.
Awesome.
And I am, and I'm excited about where I am and who I've become in God. Okay. And it's because of God that I am who I am and where I am today. Thank you for that, Michelle.
Yeah, praise God. Just out of curiosity, what age children do you normally interact with day to day in your field in education?
Oh, we interact with early Head Start, pre-K, sometimes older children, and we have teenagers in our church. So the list goes on and on. So even the older people, so they call. Sometimes they want to call me mom, and I'm wondering why they want to call me mom. I said, do I like somebody's mom, So it's not a really it's not focused on really age, but
Age.
most of my children on a daily basis are between 3 and 5 years old.
Okay, interesting, interesting. Now, I want to just take, before we end this show on today, because I know there's a lot of great things that are happening, you can look forward to, especially this week. Right now is where we're here, sharing with Apostle Ian Jackson some great things that she's doing, but she actually, this week, the year-end revival at Nehemiah Worship Center. So can you share with us a little bit about the year-end revival, the title of it, and what people can expect when they come to be a part of this?
Yes, it starts on December 28th, and it's entitled Moving into the Apostolic Overflow, going into this new year. And the 28th, we have Pastor Tia Lynch from the area. We also have Apostle Roderick Jenneret from the area, and also we have Apostle Regina Ferry from the area. And I am so excited because they all come with a lot of energy too. And hopefully going into the year 2016, we'll focus on energy and taking that energy into that next dimension. And so I'm excited about the revival that starts, and I'm just really excited because I know that they're coming, and they're coming packing, ready to challenge the people of God to go into that new year. So on that 28th through the 31st, and on the 31st, yours truly will be taking us in to the new year. Breaking bread with the saints of God, and we'll have some feet washing here on that night to help them, to give them that fresh start into the new year. So I'm looking forward to it.
So now what time does the revival begin nightly?
7:30 each night.
7:30.
Yes.
So know, as you're watching us now, you may, of course, it's, the time has pretty much progressed forward, but